Conversation, guys. Oh, that was a cop, literally. No, it's a funeral cop. Anyways, man, first I want you guys to say, everybody, tag Bernard Hopkins in this. Send it to him through Twitter. Send it to him on Instagram. If you know him personally, make sure he gets this video because I think he really needs to hear, maybe from my perspective. I saw him doing interviews yesterday. I didn't actually watch none of the interviews, but I saw that he was being interviewed on my timeline because they had a fight last night, right? And, I looked at him and I says, I remember when I respected Bernard Hopkins as a black man. I literally remember. I'm from New York. We all know about the Twin Towers. We all know about Felix Trinidad, and I smiled that day. He was like America's Band-Aid on that Saturday night. And his plight to becoming the world champion in boxing is similar to some of my cousins, some people I grew up with. Go to jail, people give up on you, but you have the fortitude to believe in yourself and ultimately accomplish your goals. And the one poignant quote that he said to me in an interview, it was when he was fighting Joe Smith, and Bernard Hopkins actually invited me to go to his last workout because I actually told him, I said, Bernard, this is a piece of black history. I would love to come to your last workout. He says, why can't you come? Come on. And I loved him for that. You guys know, I did a video on that. You guys remember. And I had that reverence in my heart for Bernard Hopkins, like really, really sincere, like very, very sincere. No BS, no bullshit. And the one quote he told me during that Joe Smith presser, he said, when I was in jail, I never ever washed another man's underwear. And I looked at him, and you know what that meant to me? That he's a man's man. No matter the circumstances, no matter the successes, he is a man. And I'm looking at him, and I see his boss name is Oscar De La Hoya, and it ultimately bothers me, and it hinders me from respecting him any further, because one, we all know about the emails. He called one of the subsidies of Golden Boy, called Al Heyman a nigger, a black Hitler, and so on and so forth, and they were corresponding with the actual Golden Boy PR guy because they were setting up a plan to actually try and destroy Al Heyman and what he wanted to accomplish. And that's two-pronged. I remember when Bernard Hopkins walked up in the ring with Shane Mosley and he actually got the fight. I remember when Bernard Hopkins stood behind Floyd Mayweather and they made millions and millions and millions of dollars together. But I think there's a line that a black man can never ever cross. Whenever a non-black culture or person disrespects a black man and you have the ability to say something about it, I deem it as your responsibility, your obligation, and especially where you come from and where I projected you to go. I mean, in theory, you literally can be a politician in the state of Pennsylvania. Keep it really honest with you. You speak well, you're eloquent when you speak, you tell great stories, you're able to be bipartisan in terms of, you look bipartisan, Republican, Democrat, young, old, you understand what I'm saying? And I just want you to fully understand, because I don't think you've never ever heard this from a black man. And I'm probably as successful as you, but just in a different genre. And I think that's important because I'm in your demographic. I used to see you quite often, once a month, actually, covering the Golden Boy. But as you probably know, I don't cover Golden Boy anymore. And I just want you to understand that you not speaking up for us as it relates to the emails towards Al Heyman, which represents every black man in America. And two, you following a man who has vices that are ultimately in control of him. And you know all that all too well because your biggest paycheck with Golden Boy arguably your biggest paycheck with Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya wasn't there. And I'm talking about Canelo, Floyd Mayweather. And I just want you to speak up for us. And I think it's essential. I think it's important. I'm not going to call you a coon in this video. I'm not going to call you a bootlicker. But I think sometimes we get above who we think we are. We think we get above reproach. We forget about where we come from. We only concerned about where we're at and where we're projected to go. And like you, I could sit in my house and be a Republican. I don't know if you're a Republican, but I could sit in my house and be comfortable and never ever worry about a black plight. You understand? Because I have poor people all across Los Angeles paying rent, which will in turn makes me never have to work and never ever actually adhere to anything ever in my life, arguably. You understand what I'm saying? As it relates to a job. And it just hurts me, man, that I saw you in that interview yesterday and I had mixed emotions, man, because 5 years ago, I was like, man, that's Bernard Hopkins, right? Damn, that's Bernard. You know who that is? That's the alien. That's the fountain of youth. You understand? That's what I want to look like when I'm 51. You understand what I'm saying? Longevity has its privileges, man. And for you, longevity is becoming your demise. And I just want you to hear my voice. Again, I want you to tag Bernard Hopkins because I genuinely believe he needs to hear this message. And I'm not going to disrespect him. I would love to have dialogue with him at the appropriate time, upon his convenience. We know how to get a hold of each other. I don't have your phone number any longer. I had it in my old phone. I don't have it now. But I'm easy to get a hold of. And I have no respect for Oscar De La Hoya because of what he's done and what he said about another black man. And the consistent theme, right? His consistent theme and him not being held accountable. More importantly, you not holding him accountable. You're his right-hand man. You understand what I'm saying? When people think of Golden Boy, if they don't think of Oscar, they think of you. You know what I mean? And you have to do your part and protect us. No matter what, you have to do your job and protect us. And my respect for you is dwindling at every second of the day. I'm losing more and more respect for you. That Saturday night in 2001 will forever be monumentous in the state of New York. More importantly, all over America. We forgot about what happened the couple of days before, and we focus on Bernard Hopkins. And he had a great fight. And that's probably one of your biggest accomplishments, besides being I forget how many title defenses you've had, but so I just want you to hear this, man. Please, please, please. I never ask much of you guys, my subscribers. I never ever ask much of you guys. But I want you to tag Bernard Hopkins. I want you to email Bernard Hopkins. I want you to send it to his DM on Instagram. Whatever you have to do to get his attention so he can hear this video. And I may even do this video once a month until I get a response.
No, just let you go.
Okay. Until I get a response from Bernard Hopkins. And I think your response to me is more important than Oscar's. You know, Oscar needs to do his part, without a doubt. He needs to own up to the fact that someone in his company, a subsidy of Golden Boy, actually said these things about Al Heyman, which represents every black man. Because let me tell you this, Bernard, if they say that about Al Heyman, who's one of the top 20, top 10 most successful black men in America today, most prominent, most powerful, imagine what they say about me. Imagine what they'll say about my cousin who just did 25 years of life. Imagine who they'll say about arguably your sister who's just simply just working a 9-to-5 job. You understand what I'm saying? Just, you know, raising her kids. Or how about that black family that's in the jungles in the apartments trying to get out. If they say that about Al Heyman, imagine what they'll say about me, what they'll say about you and every other black American. Because Al Heyman represents the 0.0001% of black America. He's an elite black man, and so if the disrespect goes there, I can only imagine what they've said to me. So Bernard, you're on the clock. I may even until I get a response from you, I think I may be committed to this, because I think this conversation needs to be had. Black boxing fans, I literally get, Bernard, I want you to know this, maybe 10 emails a year, like personal emails about you, saying how they've called you a coon, they've called you a butt lick. I haven't called you that yet, because the last conversation you and I ever had, we shook hands and you gave me your raps, and I cased it, and it's on my Hall of Fame wall with, all my boxing memorabilia, sports memorabilia. You're on that wall, and my son is gonna grow up every day running through that hallway looking at your rap. So you are a piece of black history, and I need you to remember that, and I need you to articulate that, and I need you to represent that, more importantly. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Bernard, I'm not attacking you, I'm attacking Oscar. I think Oscar is what's bad about America. He is no longer our golden boy in America. He's not even remotely resembled a guy in a 1992 Olympics waving those two flags. Not even remotely. He's not that man anymore. And it's important that you recognize that, and more importantly, that you respect and honor black men in America. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Please, please, please get this message to Bernard Hopkins. Tweet it, call him, message him, whatever you got to do. Make sure he gets this message, guys. Peace.